Okay, folks, this will be an interesting one. It's another one of these products that are aggressively marketed to children, but I must admit I do like the name of it because it reminds me of something really important in my life. Let's see how we go with this piece of shit.
Yeah, folks, the photocopier industry is full of shit. Like, they got products that don't work as well as they should, they don't last as long, they don't give you any new features, and yeah, there's something missing from the industry that shouldn't be missing from the industry. They used to have respect, they used to be revered by the industry, and they were on the verge of making something happen in the early 90s, but something went wrong and they ended up being made redundant from the R&D work that they did on the photocopier industry. They basically, I think they phased out R&D in favour of keeping the same legacy software in operation for later generations of equipment, and making the hardware of the new hardware incompatible with the old hardware, so that you have to buy a new photocopier because the spare parts are no longer available. You can't use the spare parts in the new machines for the old machines, which is all about money, all about the love of money. And the people who are in it, we know who they are, what they are. They're called nerds, or the general term is nerds, but there is an actual term for a photocopier nerd or geek. There is a certain nerd or geek terminology for them, very special, and they're the ones that hold the key to the future of the photocopier industry, and they're called toner heads. A toner head is basically a photocopier nerd or geek, and we make the best photocopiers that man could ever want if we're given the chance, but we're not. It's not happening like that anymore. The photocopier industry is now overrun almost entirely by piglets and swine, and they don't care about the product. So, and they're in the middle, like companies like Konica Minolta are removing features because they think that the features are too complicated for the average user, which is true, but there's something missing that should be in these equipments to make it easier. And I'm sure it won't take a major Einstein to work it out, that artificial intelligence is what is needed to drive these machines, so we can have both the versatility of having all these power functions while having the simplicity of not having the functions, but having the best of both worlds. But no, the photocopier industry is not about that. They don't care. They don't want to make anything easier or better. All they do, the only thing they make easier or better is making money. Money, fucking money. Money fuckers. They're money fuckers, folks. These people, these so-called people, these swine people, have taken over the entire industry, pretty much. And they're not allowing nerds and geeks. It's a bit like the movie series called series of movies called The Revenge of the Nerds. Who remembers The Revenge of the Nerds, folks? The nerds having to do battle against the jocks who just overrun the college. I haven't seen that movie for a long time, but of course the nerds get their revenge in the end, and then the jocks have to concede defeat. So the jocks think they're fucking better than the nerds. So, yeah, and the nerds get treated like they're pissy and weak and all that sort of stuff. And, yeah, and the jocks just muscle in on their territory. And basically, yeah, it's really like a battle between the jocks and the nerds. And the jocks have certainly have overrun the photocopier industry. So we've been kicked out of our fucking campus, you could say. None of us have a satisfying career anymore. There's no careers, there's nothing. It's all about the love of money, and the love of money has just overrun everything like a disease, like a pandemic. and it's really disgusting, and it disgusts me no end, and I'm really angry at the photocopier industry for toffing out all those toner heads. Right, toner heads are that make the best product, you stupid fuckwits. You know, they make the best product, you know. One day I'm going to redesign the photocopier from scratch. One day I'm going to make the photocopier better again. And I'm not going to allow these fucking jocks who are the swine of the industry, rule the industry. They suck. They really suck at their job. They don't care about their job, and they're not capable of doing it properly. Look at this fucking flick and drag shit. Honestly, folks, I'm angry at the industry. I want to tear it limb from limb. I don't care what they think. I don't care what the fuck they think of people like myself. They're gonna get it. I'm gonna fucking ruin their fucking money train. Their money train's gonna be off the tracks. And if they don't care, they will. I don't care what they think. They're gonna lose their money train. I'm going to derail it. The nerds will have their revenge. The toner heads will have their revenge, folks. We will revenge against the nerds of the non-geeks, non-nerds of the photocopier industry, the non-toner heads. The non, as in those who are not toner heads or nerds. Toner heads are the only people who can be trusted with this product, this kind of product. And we were doing so well until the fucking jocks of the industry got in and fucked us up. We are going to win, folks. You toner heads out there, you get my big thumb of approval. Keep hoping, look forward to the future, dream of a new copier system that's going to be created. And I'm going to be creating this copier system on my own. I'm going to be prototyping the entire system by myself, and I'm not going to let any of these non-geeks or non-nerds or non-toner heads, or toner heads are the only real nerds for the photocopier industry. There are other industries where nerds and geeks of the normal average kind would be welcome, like in the computer industry, which I know is cliche, but you know, computer nerds are more common and they've got a huge place. They'll create the technology that this new copier system is going to build. So we're going to work with them, and they're going to help make the groundbreaking discovery. So this is our nerdy piece that we're going to make into something interesting. But basically, the nerds and geeks in the photocopier industry are going to be toner heads. But the nerds and the geeks on the outside of the photocopier industry will always have my respect as well, because they can make other discoveries, and the discoveries they make could very well be adapted to our new copier system. And we're going to make this copier system out of recycled materials as much as we can. We're not going to mine materials unless we have to. And we're going to pick through the rubbish tips of the world in order to find the materials we need to build our new generation of copier system. So, you know, it's really going to be something exciting and wonderful. And I'm not going to give up my dream. I'm not going to let these piglets, such as this one here, this Konica Minolta one, his name is Toshimitsu Taiko. He's a dickhead. He's just another fucking swine. He took over about a couple of years ago now from Shai Yamana. They described him as having a cool head and a warm heart. They always make up these bullshit about these bitches. I mean, yeah, he's got a cool head, but it's not cool, it's cold. And his heart is stone cold. He just cares about the industry, not the industry. He just cares about his money that he can make from the industry. He's a fuckwit. He's just another swine. There's nothing special about Toshimitsu. He's just another fucking piglet. Another fucking piece of shit, common swine. And I don't like these swine running my industry. And that's it, Toshimitsu. You suck shit. You suck! Go fuck fuck yourselves. The nerds will win. The toner heads will win, you fucking idiot. Go fuck you stupid, dumb, Conica, fucktard, Minolta. Stupid, fuckwit. Dude, stupid. Sorry, folks. This is what we call nerd rage or toner head rage. We call it toner head rage because we are sick to hell of people ruling our fucking dominion. You know, you fucking think you can rule and take over and steal. You're not. And I'm going to build the best copier system on earth. And if you want a piece of it because you see how good it is, you're not getting it, Toshi Mitsu Taiko. You are a stupid fuckwit, Toshi. You make me tushy, Toshi. In other words, angry, in English speak. I just get so frustrated with these bloody idiots in power in the industry who don't care about the product or the people or the environment. So I'm really fucking over this shit, folks. The nerds will win. The toner heads will win in the photocopier sphere, and I hope the computer nerds and other kinds of nerds we have will also succeed in their chosen careers, that they are going to become trailblazers of the industries that we need. And artificial intelligence is probably going to stagnate if we don't get to it early enough, because the piglets are obviously excited about it, and it's going to get stagnated like the photocopier industry. So we nerds and geeks have got to get onto it and show these piglets who's boss. You know, we've got to teach them a fucking good lesson, not to treat us nerds and geeks and toner heads with such disdain and lack of seriousness that we have about our work. I know you fuckers don't care about the product. I know you don't have the IQ. You're not smart enough and you're not inclined. You just care about money. So I'm going to treat you with such disrespect and hatred, and you're not going to taste any of my equipment. My equipment is going to be prototyped on my own. Yes, Toshimitsu and all the industry, not just you, Toshi, but all the other CEOs out there, look out. All the other copier companies, look out. I'm against all of yous, you know. And I won't tolerate stupidity from any of you bitches. So this is our nerds piece. So really, I just get so frustrated, folks, that I have no control. And we're not going to have slave labour either. We're not, you know. And getting back to the rubbish tip thing, we're going to mine rubbish tips around the world, including places like China and India, to not just save resources and reduce the amount of carbon that we produce, because it's easier to process recycled materials than it is to process minerals. So, you know, you have to fucking think innovatively. But basically, yeah, we're going to mine as much as we can instead of using virgin materials. And we're going to clean up the planet in the process. So places like India and China could well have clean waterways and clean places to sow crops. So, you know, really. And we also don't want to have, going back to this, slave labour. We're not going to make this equipment in China where people are treated as slaves, or Vietnam. I think these are the companies that make parts of these equipments, or most of it. I think China makes most of it. Don't quote me, folks, but I know that China makes the document feeder. So, if I'm correct, I'd like to show that. But basically, yeah, we're not going to have slaves. We're not going to treat people like slaves. We're going to give them the right payment. We're going to make sure they get paid a little bit more than what they're worth. And this equipment's going to be made in Australia. It's going to be Australian owned. The company's going to be 100% Australian owned. The products are going to be Australian designed and Australian made. And we will, however, have some what are they called? Skilled migrants from places like China. So, you know, who really know what a good hard day's work is, but we're not treating them like slaves. They're going to be pleasantly surprised what it's going to be like to work in Australia. They're going to really enjoy themselves. They're going to be toner heads in the factory. Toner heads, not fucking money fucked swine. Toner heads only. And that's come up looking really quite a treat. There you have it. Nerds will inherit the copier world. The nerds will inherit the copier world. Yes, they will, folks. Yes, they will. And I'll just show you this part of the document feeder where it's made in China. There it is, folks. There's the little sign on the bottom right corner there. Made in China. Konica Minolta. Made in China. Just there. So just proving that I'm just proving myself that I was right. I don't want to say the wrong thing. I'm not interested in bad-mouthing companies for nothing. I only bad-mouth them where they deserve to be bad-mouthed, where it's due. I'm not interested in telling fibs. So this is coming up really nice. I think we can now call this nerd rage over.